Welcome back to HB Unfiltered Sports Talk. I'm joined by the Stiff Brownie, the intern, and the Dirtbag. Today's show is brought to you by J3 Supply Group for your hoses hitting specialist. Come on down, great guys, and I gotta throw a shout out to First Class Pizza. I gotta throw a shout out to Selman Chevrolet. Just dropped my truck off last week. Under warranty, got my new electrical system put in. Nice. So it was pretty sweet, and did my brakes, so I'm driving safely around now, the great streets of Huntington Beach. Please go to our website at HB Unfiltered Sports Talk and check out, obviously, our merchandise. Check out the whole website. Just scroll around. It's much easier to check everything out. And then also check out gotbackup.com. And that's where you can get 6 terabytes of storage for like 6 people and 6 devices. Let's start the show off with the intern. We're going to find out what happened this day in sports real quick.
So on this day in sports, July 27th, it is 1947. New York Yankees catcher Yogi Berra starts a record 148-game errorless streak. In 1984, the Reds' Pete Rose collects a record 3,503rd career single versus Philadelphia. And in 1999, Tony Hawk is the first skateboarder to land a 900. And we also have a bunch of birthdays on July 27th. Leo DeRocher, Peggy Fleming, who is 75 today, A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, who is 48 years old today, and Jordan Spieth, who is 30 years old.
Jeez, Jordan.
Only 30.
Jeez, seems a little old.
Yeah, not for a golfer, man. He's got 20 more years before he hits the senior circuit and makes more money and then designs golf courses.
Well, speaking about golf, I want to say thank you because I made some money this past weekend at the British Open, or the Open as it's known. You picked 2 players to finish in the top 5, top 10, top 20 of the 4 that you said, and I made a lot of money thanks to you, so I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Tommy Fleetwood and Victor Hovland. I mean, that course was all about, that's why, oh man, we got to talk about this, Brian Harmon. I cannot watch 13 waggles.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Before you hit the damn ball.
My thing is this, you got guys like Patrick Cantlay, and you got guys like Brian Harmon.
Yeah.
There needs to be a clock on these people. It's uncomfortable to watch. I golf, and it's like, get up and hit the ball. I get it a couple swings, you're trying to get your timing down, whatever. I'm not very good at golf, so it doesn't really matter. To me, I just get up there and swing it.
Yeah.
But these guys are excellent at golf, and they shouldn't be waggling and taking as much time as they do.
So let's say you're paired. You're a good golfer, and let's say you were paired and playing on the PGA Tour, and you're playing with John Rahm, who's maybe 2 waggles at most, or Brooks Koepka, who just steps up and hits the damn ball.
Yeah.
How would you like to be following a pairing of Cantlay and Harmon?
Or playing with them. I would be like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal, and it's bad TV too, because I think the ratings were down. I don't know the final ratings on everything.
Yeah.
Obviously, over here, you're watching it at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, which I did. I woke up and I watched it.
This has to be because I've been having like serious sleeping problems. I'm up all night. I think this is the first time I actually watched the whole thing.
Me too. No, I couldn't, I think Tuesday night I barely slept, and it's like because I was waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning every single morning to watch 10 hours of golf.
It's funny. It was funny when it switched over to NBC on Harmon. Obviously, you want to try to follow the guy that's leading, right? So they started trying to cut his waggles down by chiming in on the 11th waggle.
Oh, yeah.
So they were just showing like 2 waggles and then he hits it.
They said he had over 4,000 waggles for the 4 days that he was playing in the tournament.
That is so ridiculous.
Think about that.
That's so ridiculous.
They probably hit, they hit a drive and a wedge, or a drive, maybe they have on the par 5s, maybe it's 3 shots. That is a lot of waggles.
Waggle me this.
Wow.
Waggle me that.
Anyways, let's get something way more interesting. With 4 days left in the trade deadline, what's going on with Ohtani? Where's everything at with that?
I really think Artie Moreno has fucked up. You don't you do not decide to do anything until the trade deadline. If you keep them, that's fine. But you have to listen to all offers. Who knows what the Dodgers or the Orioles might have offered for a guy that, remember, you have a 9% chance of making the playoffs. What you tell Ohtani is, hey man, you're only going to, let's say, Baltimore for 2 months or the Dodgers for 2 months, and then you can sign back with us, and we're going to have so much more around you next year.
Yeah, because we traded for assets.
That will be a better club. But to hold on to him and get nothing and have the possibility of him leaving just seems like he's a terrible businessman. That's a terrible business deal to just fold your hand, your pocket aces.
Yep.
And you're folding before you even see the flop. It's so...
Again, this morning...
I just don't understand it.
This morning, through complete game, 1 hitter, 8 strikeouts, like nothing. What is it? How many home runs does he have? 36?
Yeah, 36.
I mean,
he leads the...
And he doesn't have Trout right now.
Right.
He's doing, or Rendon, Mr. Glass.
Oh,
so
God, Rendon.
I really hope Artie is listening to our podcast so he can understand not only do we need to trade Ohtani, but get Trout healthy, get him out of there, get Rendon healthy. I did not realize Rendon still is owed $90 million.
Oh, yeah. It was a $250 million contract.
Oh, my gosh. I just figured that out the other day. I was like, what's left on his contract? How hard is it going to be to get rid of him?
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult to get rid of him.
I'm telling you right now, just like you called a backdoor deal on the, Rogers giving up $35 million so they can get Dalvin Cook, I'm calling it right now. There has to be a deal in place between Artie Moreno, the Angels, and Ohtani. He must have said to them, I don't want to be traded. I want to try to make it to the playoffs with the Angels. I love living here. Do you know that he literally lives like on the premise of Angel Stadium?
Oh, he lives in one of those condos?
He lives in one of those high-priced condos, and he walks early on game day to start stretching and everything across the parking lot.
No way.
Maybe he just loves...
That's pretty cool.
And maybe he just loves that nobody's... Like, if he was in New York, there'd be cameras and paparazzi like everywhere around him.
Sure.
With the Angels, it's easy peasy, man. Nobody cares. Nobody says anything. He just goes about his business, and maybe that's what he likes.
Well, I can tell you this. Everything that I've read and everything I've heard from sources that I know very well, San Francisco Giants are going to make a massive offer to him.
And so are the Dodgers. And here's Artie's worst nightmare. Him saying as a businessman, I'm not going to trade. His ego is going to get the best of him here.
For sure.
I'm not going to trade with the Dodgers. I'm not going to trade with the Dodgers because they're our rival and I don't like them and whatever.
We're the bigger market team.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard because you could have taken 7 of the Dodgers' best young players and improved your team. Yeah, you lose Ohtani, but you get something in return. If this happens now, you keep him, you don't make the playoffs, the Giants and the Dodgers come hard with $650 million, and you're only offering $500 million, because I think that's what I saw, on a couple sites. They're going to offer around $500 million. Well, that's not going to get him.
He's worth $250 as a pitcher, and he's worth $350 as a hitter. So. It's a $600 million contract
for sure, and
before you even get started.
And because there's multiple people, it's going to drive the price up even more.
Sure.
So you're going to have the Mariners in the mix. Every West Coast team except the Padres and the A's are in the mix here, including the New York clubs. For offering money.
What did you think about the Giolito trade from Chicago White Sox? Like, what? That didn't make any sense to me.
He's an average pitcher at best. He's 6-6, and what's funny is I saw on the ticker it goes he's had 12. I don't know what they consider quality starts, by the way, but he had 12 quality.
I think it's 7 innings or more.
Okay, 12 quality starts out of 21, which is almost 24. That explains why he's 6-6. He's a 50-50 pitcher.
Yeah.
And Lopez is just okay. That is not helping the team. You need to get like a Verlander, a Scherzer, and a top-notch closer like Bednar from Pittsburgh. That's what would get something done and give the Angels a chance. They're not going to make it.
Isn't it shocking that we're still talking about pitching 10 years later from the time that, every single year, all we do is talk about pitching.
Yes.
And now they finally have a chance where, if you really believe in that 9.3% chance of making the playoffs,
right?
What is holding you back? Pitching.
Yeah.
It's still pitching.
Yeah, and then what you do, you go out and you get mediocre pitching to help your mediocre pitching staff. That's not raising the bar. So
like they did with Syndergaard.
Yeah.
And then they trade away Marsh, and Marsh is a great player. I mean, it's like, come on, guys.
Thanks for bringing that up. This is why the Dodgers are an unbelievable GM and staff when they do trades. They get Kiki Hernandez back, who is a clutch player every time.
And loves being in Los Angeles.
Did you see him dancing?
Yeah, I saw him doing the thing. Yeah. I was like, oh, this guy is
and they gave
so happy.
Nothing. They gave up 2 guys from their single-A ball club. They didn't even give up any of the 7 to 10 guys that already could have purged for Ohtani.
Yep.
So they're going to keep all that, and they still have a chance to sign Ohtani and keep all that talent.
Yep.
And they had Kiki, but here's the even better trade. They got Ahmad Rosario batting .265, 3 homers, 40 RBIs, but he gets on base. He can steal.
From Cleveland.
And he's a Gold Glove shortstop.
Yep.
And guess what they gave up?
Noah Syndergaard.
Joey Bag of Donuts Syndergaard,
Yep.
who would never even play again for the Dodgers or pitch.
Yeah.
We gave up Thorless.
Well, he would have been demoted, I bet.
He would have been sent to assignment.
Yeah.
So here we get borderline all-star shortstop defensively for sure for nothing.
Yeah.
This is how the Dodgers operate.
And you know who also operates like that? Cashman from the Yankees. He's another guy that just makes amazing trades that only benefit his team and somehow never pans out for the other team, which is why every team's probably very hesitant on trading with Mr. Cashman over there in the Yankees organization. But you know what? If you know what you're doing and you get it done, get it done. Well, I'm here to make my team better, and that's the end of it.
The one thing with Cashman that I'll say that he's getting wrong is he likes the guys that hit home runs, but they also strike out 200 times. I think he's got 4 or 5 players that hit over 40 homers and strike out over 200 times.
Well, when the fence is only 250 feet down each line.
It's Little League.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. That also shortens it for the other team, too. Now Chris Taylors of the world are hitting homers.
Man, I got to tell you something. The San Francisco Giants absolutely screwed me this past weekend. They were at Washington and got swept, so I had a really bad week with gambling.
And they lost to the A's.
Oh man, they're on my Cam Newton list, which you don't know what the Cam Newton list is, but a few of my friends do, and that's guys with no balls.
Oh wow!
So
castrated.
Yeah. So I do have to tell you this though.
I didn't know about that.
The hottest team in baseball right now is the Boston Red Sox. They're 14-5 since July 1st. They're a hot team. They're at San Francisco. I love them this weekend. Okay. I know San Francisco at home is hard to bet against, but give me some Boston.
Actually, Baltimore's kind of hurt me the last 2 days. Philadelphia.
Well, they're at home versus the Yankees, and I love them this weekend.
Well, I'm taking Baltimore on that one.
Yeah.
Yankees still don't even have Judge.
The interesting series for me, and this is where Milwaukee has been flying under the radar. They have 57 wins and 40-something losses, whatever it is.
Yeah.
How do they get 57 wins? They struggled at the first part of the season, and they're playing Atlanta this weekend in Atlanta, and Atlanta is as hot as they come.
Yeah, Atlanta is still the team to beat. The Rays have fallen down.
Well, they're just playing 50-50 ball right now, which is expected because you came out of the chute and you're winning like 80% of your games.
Yeah.
You're going to have some regression to the mean for sure.
I just keep thinking now that Ohtani's not being traded, the Dodgers have so much talent that they can trade. They're starting to get healthy. They're gonna go after a good pitcher. It's not gonna be Shane Bieber because he recently got hurt, but they can go get Stroman.
Stroman from the Cubs.
They can add Stroman or maybe get Lynn, who's an inning killer
on the cheap.
Real cheap. On the cheap.
Yeah.
Some more cash considerations and maybe another Noah Syndergaard that's on their roster that they can get rid of.
Well, like I said, my hot teams this weekend are Boston, Atlanta, Baltimore, and Philly. I like Minnesota at Kansas City. I always like anybody that's playing Kansas City. My cold teams, Oakland, Kansas City, San Francisco, the New York Mets, and Colorado Rockies.
The Mets, man.
Who's been worse this season, San Diego or New York Mets?
Dude, hey,
they're both
Mets.
brutal.
I think the Mets are the most disappointing team, and I think Steve Cohen, the owner, He's got an unlimited amount of money. I would trade, if I was him, I'd trade everybody. I'd get rid of Verlander's contract. I'd get rid of Scherzer. I'd get rid of all of them, man.
Yeah.
I'd trade Lindor. I'd even trade Alonso, man.
Actually, I'd keep Lindor and Alonso, and I'd trade everybody else.
Seriously.
Anybody that's making any type of good money,
start over.
Just cut bait.
Start over, get assets, you know.
For sure.
Oh, man, Joe Burrow just got carted off the field for the Bengals. That's not good.
Have you been watching any of the Women's World Cup, by the way?
I have, and I'm not impressed.
All
this talk. They were favored to win by 6.5 over Vietnam. They struggled. Yeah. They still won 3-0. But now you struggled against the Netherlands.
Yeah, here's the thing. There's a new coaching staff. It's not the same coaching staff with Wambach and Rapinoe and all the other Hope Solo, all the Nicholas Morgan, all the. So it's a new coaching staff, and I'm not quite sure what this guy is doing exactly.
Right.
But when I watch the games, the girls are extremely aggressive.
Yeah.
Versus like possession. So I watched the game last night, and the Netherlands had at least a 12, maybe 15-minute possession game. So they had it for a lot, 12 to 15 minutes more.
Right.
We had more shots on goal. And the Netherlands are a very good team. I mean, Italy, Germany, Brazil, Spain, Netherlands, Denmark. All those teams are good teams to bet on because they're a lot better than the other teams in their group.
Right.
I'm very scared to bet on the ladies this week. On Tuesday, I'm sorry, they're playing Tuesday. Right now, they're 1.5 goal favorites at -105, and money line's -350, and it's scary.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, shout out to the Philippines. They won their very first match ever for women in the World Cup. They beat New Zealand.
Are you going to my place this Saturday for the UFC fights?
I most likely will be there. I've been known to hang out there.
I may or may not be there in real life.
One of these days we're going to do a satellite from over there. Get our shit together. Help us out. Visit our site. Please.
Cheers. Enjoy the weekend.